Good evening and welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View this Sunday, the 31st of May. It's the last day of May. How was your May? May, it's been fine for me. It's been absolutely fine. It's been fantastic. How's it been in your... It's been great, isn't it? Celtic win the league in May, and then Celtic go on to win the Scottish Cup, and then today the women win the Scottish Cup. Fantastic. It's been fine for me. It says it's all you can ask for. Now, I need to ask you, do you remember, I don't know how many people is going to be on this live. See how many we get. But as you may notice, down there is 26,790. Can I get to 27,000 before Celtic sign a manager? Come on, Celtic fans. I'm looking at the stats, and if you haven't signed, if you watch the videos, I really love the fact that you watch the videos. If you haven't subscribed, just go and do a wee favour. Just subscribe to the channel. Doesn't cost you anything. Just subscribe to the channel. I know there's a membership and that cost, but that's a different thing completely. Just subscribe to the channel. The average age of the people that watch the channel are 45 and up, 35 years and upwards. Between it's the OAP Ultra channel. Maybe that's why I'm not getting a lot of subscribers. But yeah, there is an older demographics, and the biggest amount come from the United Kingdom. But this is where it gets interesting. For the last 28 days, 58% of videos watched came from subscribers. 41% came from people that have not subscribed to the channel. 41%. So I want to get this number up to 27,000 before Celtic get a manager. Can we do it? Just go on, please, just go and do it. It's a Sunday. I don't know. It's the day of giving. I've just made that up, obviously. But yeah, if we can, just get this little push, just so that it could make me smile more than anything. I don't know, just so that I can sit and go, we did it, and I could get something to get excited about during this closed season. It's not even pre-season yet. So yeah, just to get that little bit of excitement. We'll go live. The closer we get to it, you'll tell when we're about at it. Middle age here, not OAP. Thank you very much. I'm just looking at the stats, right? Just looking at the stats. You know, there are both on 29% as 55 to 64-year-olds. 29% of people who watch the channel, and 65 plus. 65 plus is 29% also, and then it's split between the other ones. Celtic are so slow, you'd reach 50,000 the time we get a manager. I doubt that, but it would be fantastic. There's always somebody that's going to unsubscribe just to see if that's actually working, and then we see it has. So now we need 111 rather than 110. There's always one smart ass that comes onto the live and go, I'm going to unsubscribe to watch his number go down. Fuck him, Finian bastard. Anyway, right, let's talk about Celtic manager and the Celtic manager odds this evening. No, I want to talk about win rates, actually, because it's something that managers always get thrown at them. It seems to be a modern thing that the managers thrown at them is the win rate of a manager when it comes to Celtic. I'm going to go through the win rates of managers that have been at Celtic. Go all the way back to Willie Maley. He had a win rate. He had over 1,000 games. He won over 1,000 games. Willie Maley won over 1,041 games for Celtic. Wow, that's amazing, isn't it? He drew 315 games, and he lost only 260 games. He had a 64% win rate. Jimmy McGrory had a 49.7 win rate. Jock Stein, he had a 70% win rate at his time at Celtic. Billy McNeil, heading into the late 70s, 1980s. That's the real first manager that I can remember. As although I was born when Jock Stein, I was far too young to even know who his manager was. But yeah, Billy McNeil, the first manager that I remember as a kid, was 64% win rate at Celtic. He only won 165 games his time at Celtic. He drew 40 and he lost 52. Then he went on to Davy Hay. 1983 to 1987. He won 119 games at his time. He had a 56.9% win rate. And then Billy McNeil came back. Billy McNeil came back for a second shot at the title in 1987, which seen Billy McNeil do the double. And it was fantastic. It was beautiful. It was a great summer. Brilliant summer, 1988. Remember it well. And he stayed until 1991. By that time, Rangers had started bringing in English players because they could not play in Europe. It's the only reason Rangers got all the English team players that they could get, because English teams were banned from Europe. But anyway, Billy McNeil had a win rate of 55%. Liam Brady. This is a shock one, because Liam Brady, even though he was absolutely, well, he wasn't as bad as Lou Macari, but Liam Brady had a 54% win rate. Lou Macari, the dark days of Celtic. The real dark days of Celtic. Lou Macari had a win rate of, and the younger fans might not believe this, but Lou Macari had a worse win rate than Wilfred Nancy. No, he didn't. No, sorry, Wilfred, you were shite. Lou Macari had a, wow, Lou, I've just noticed that. It's no wonder we got shot at Wilfred Nancy. He was statistically worse than Lou Macari. Oh my days. I never thought I'd be saying that. A modern Celtic manager worse than Lou Macari. Lou Macari had a win rate of 35%. And then I went to Tommy Burns. Tommy Burns, fantastic manager. Had a better win rate than Jimmy McGrory. He had a win rate of 54.8%. Even better than Liam Brady. Even just under Billy McNeil and behind Davy Hay. And way behind Billy McNeil his first time round, way behind Jock Stein. But Tommy Burns had a win rate of 54.8. Now, Tommy Burns had 80 wins at Celtic. Now, remember, there was a season where Celtic could not get a win for love nor money. It was draw central. In that season, under Tommy Burns, it was a couple of seasons actually, between 94 and 97, Celtic drew 43 games. Tommy Burns only lost 23 games. That was less than Liam Brady. It was less than Davy Hay. It was less than Billy McNeil both times. That's astonishing that Tommy Burns' team had they lost less games than these other managers. That's unbelievable. The time that Tommy Burns was manager, he only lost 23 games. Draws was his downfall. Like I say, draws was his downfall. Wim Jansen, right up there. Wim Jansen, only the one season at Celtic, 33 games, and 64% win rate. A 64% win rate with Wim Jansen only losing 8 games. Billy Stark had 2 games in charge at Celtic in 1998. Started the season before Dr. Joe Venglos then came in 1989. Dr. Joe Venglos had a win rate of 58%. He won 29 games. He drew 10. Dr. Joe Venglos, and he lost 11. John Barnes. Now this is one that the Celtic fans may think, they're shitting me. No, this cannot be right. John Barnes, the disaster it seemed at the time, had a win rate of 65%, which is weird. He only drew 2 games, but he lost 8 games. And that's the big one in such a short space. But even John Barnes had a 65% win rate, which is bonkers. Kenny Dalglish, who stepped up for John Barnes when he was kicked out. Kenny Dalglish was part of the dream team with John Barnes. He had 10 games at Celtic. He drew 4 and he lost 4. He had a win rate of 55%. 55%. And then came in the legend after Kenny Dalglish. The man that is just, well, his arse is kind of, the chair's still warm, as they say, and the coffee cup's still warm in the manager's office. Might be cold now because it's a week later, but the seat's still got the imprint of Martin O'Neill on the seat, the manager's seat in the office. Martin O'Neill came into Celtic on the in 2000, and he managed for over 213 games. He drew 29 and he lost 40 games, Martin O'Neill, but he still had a win rate of 75.5%. Martin O'Neill, 75% win rate. That puts Martin O'Neill up there, I've got to say, is one of the most successful managers ever at Celtic. Ever. Even better than Brendan Rodgers. And what a Martin O'Neill, because you need to listen to the rest of these to realise how good Martin O'Neill has been at Celtic over the years. 75.5%. So he's the most successful manager at Celtic, percentage win rate wise, up until 2005. Then Gordon Strachan came in after him, and he had 132 games that he won. He lost 36 games, and he lost 35 games and he drew 36. He had a win rate of 65. Tony Mowbray. This is another strange one because it's still a decent win rate when it comes to terms of what managers' win rate percent is when they come to Celtic. Tony Mowbray had a win rate of 51%. He lost 13 games. 13 games in his short spell at Celtic. He won 23, he drew 9 and he lost 13. Shambolic night in Paisley brought down the curtain. It was a Wednesday night, I remember it well. Brought down the curtain on Tony Mowbray's career. And then in stepped Neil Lennon. Neil Lennon. Without Neil Lennon, this channel would be nothing. I always remember that, and I always appreciate it. I always appreciate the fact that this channel was never meant to be the Celtic channel. It never was until the day that Neil Lennon was made manager. And even then, it took years for it to develop into what it is today. But Neil Lennon, he had 159 wins at Celtic. He had 30 draws and 39 defeats. A couple of those defeats coming in through. There was 3 defeats in cup games that really pissed me off at the time. I think the first one was maybe he thinks was his worst, but 2 in his last season were up there for me. Neil Lennon had a win rate of 69.7%. He stepped down and in stepped Ronnie Dyler. Now, Ronnie Dyler, his percent win rate was actually up there with some of the better managers at Celtic, believe it or not. He won 76 games at Celtic. He drew 22 and he only lost 20 games. That's interesting. Came into Celtic in 2016, 2014, left in 2016, and he only lost 20 games. 64.4% win rate for Ronnie Dyler, which I think is unbelievable. Then in came Brendan Rodgers. First time round, 2016, Brendan Rodgers packed out the main stand at Celtic Park. There was thousands, tens of thousands of supporters turned up to see Neil Lennon be announced as Celtic manager. Way more than when I did the first video of Neil Lennon, let it be said, being manager. I never went through to see Rodgers because I was on holiday at the time. But Rodgers in his first time, he had 118 wins, 25 draws, and 26 losses as Celtic manager. He had a win rate of 69.8%. When you think how successful Celtic were at that time, trebles and all the rest of it, he still only had a win rate of 69.8%. It was only 0.1% more than Neil Lennon at his time at Celtic. Neil Lennon had a win rate of 69.7%. Ronnie Deila, 64%. Martin O'Neill at his first time was 75%. So Brendan Rodgers has got a long way to go to get up there to have the win rate that Martin O'Neill had. And then John Kennedy stepped in as manager when Lennon got sacked, when Lennon came in after Brendan Rodgers done a run. Neil Lennon, his second time round, had a win rate of 70%. Not as good as his first time at Celtic. He did have 78 wins. He had 16 draws and 16 losses. But it was a COVID year. It was going for the 10. And ultimately, he left Celtic in the February. No, it wasn't. Yeah, it was. It was February, wasn't it? And then came after John Kennedy. He had 4 games. He won 4 games. He had drawn 4 games, and he lost 2 games in his short spell as manager. That was a win rate of 40%. Ange Postecoglou. Now remember, Martin O'Neill had a win rate of 75.5%. Ange Postecoglou came in with a fanfare of, "G'day, mate. Who the fuck's this? Who's this Aussie? Who's this fat, middle-aged Aussie, and what does he know about Scottish football? What has he done? Where has he played? Who's he managed? He's not even got a European licence. Who is this man? Who is he?" Ange Postecoglou went, "Hold my stubby, mate." Stubby is what they call a small beer in Australia, for you that do not know. Hold my stubby, mate. He had 83 wins at Celtic. He had 12 draws and 18 losses at his time at Celtic. Ange Postecoglou. He had a win rate of only 66.9%. 66. No, sorry, 73. Sorry. 83 wins, 12 draws, 18 losses. That's the same amount of losses as Brendan Rodgers, isn't it? He had a win rate of 73.5%. Better than Neil Lennon, better than Brendan Rodgers, his first time around, way better than Ronnie Deila, better than Neil Lennon, better than Tony Mowbray, better than Gordon Strachan. Still not as good as Martin O'Neill. Martin O'Neill still has the higher percentage win rate as a manager, even when Ange Postecoglou's football was a fast-flowing attacking football. And it seemed that we just swooped everyone aside at that time. It was interesting. And Ange Postecoglou left in the summer after winning the Scottish Cup and decided that he wanted to go to Spurs. He wanted to speak to Spurs. He told the hierarchy at Celtic before the game at Hampden. He told them in the stadium, "I want to talk to Spurs." What a man. What a man, Ange, isn't it? It's just break the hearts of the 2 men that run the club. And then what makes it worse is Martin O'Neill, the irony. Martin O'Neill stood on the little bit at Hampden and Ange came up and Martin O'Neill says to him live on air, "I don't want you to leave." Remember, Martin O'Neill come walking up the Celtic way with the trophy, with holding the trophy in his hand, come off the team bus, holding the trophy, walking up with Ange by his side. Ange had just won it. Unbelievable. Look how things turn out. But Ange Postecoglou said, "No, I'm off." Brendan Rodgers was brought back to Celtic, and this time he had 83 games he won. He drew 23 games. He lost 18 games. He had a win rate of 66.9%. That goes, well, his first time here, he had a win rate that was slightly better, 69.8%. Anyway, he left, strangely enough, during last season. And in came Martin O'Neill again, the Messiah. the Messiah. He came in and it was weird, wasn't it? In his first time over the two periods, he had 7 games that he won, 7 wins and 1 loss, and no draws. That gave him a win rate of 87.5%. Unbelievable when you think about it. Because way back in the day, when he was manager the first time, his win rate was 75%. So by coming back to Celtic, he cemented himself as a god to Celtic fans. Having that win rate of 87.5%, Celtic decided, do you know what, we're going to go down, we're going to have a French Revolution. Going to start a French Revolution from fuck off, Celtic. They brought in Wilfred Nancy. And Wilfred Nancy won two. Sorry, I know this is a soft. It's hard. It is hard to take, but we've jumped up. It's 26,793. So come on, let's just show me some love on a Sunday. When Martin O'Neill left, Wilfred Nancy came in and he won 2 games. He drew none, and he lost 6. 8 games in charge. Strangely enough, the win rate seems to be at 25%. But then Martin O'Neill came back to Celtic. And even Martin O'Neill, when he came back to Celtic, with the games that he had remaining, couldn't achieve what he did. Well, he did. He won a double. But the win rate percentage. And not that this will maybe annoy Martin O'Neill or anything. I don't think that Martin O'Neill's not really a modern football guy, does he? I don't think that he I think he must look at Gordon's young Strachan, and he must look at him and go, "What are you on about, laddie?" There's Strachan with his laptop, giving it fucking Start Central, and Martin O'Neill's going, "See, in my day, we had the VHS player, and we used to have to sit, and it was like with the remote control, and speed the game up a bit, rewind it back, see this, but there was no stats, lads. It was just we watched the game, we seen what happened, and we worked out how to beat opponents easily. I had a win rate of 75.5%. The second time round, this previous season that's just gone by, Martin O'Neill won 16 games, remarkably. He drew 3 and he lost 3. When we were drawn games, it was looking unlikely. When we lost a couple of games, it was looking unlikely. But luckily enough, with the remaining games that Celtic had, we had 7 games to win. 7 games to bring it home. If you want to talk about bringing something home this summer, talk about the fact that Martin O'Neill brought it home. He brought the league championship back to Celtic. Not only that, but he brought the cup back as well. Martin O'Neill had a win rate this second time round of 72.7%. 72.7%. Unbelievable. Whilst Martin O'Neill is a favourite to get the job, it is really down to can he cope. Big shout out to Mark, who's been a member for 11 months. Let me get that on the chat. Where is it? Do this. Oh no, I have it on the chat again. I'm try and find it. Anyway, big shout out to Mark. I need to get that automated. So, Baz on the 0 alcohol. Sin filter, mate. Sin filter. What are you talking about? 0 alcohol. There's no 0 alcohol in this house. Where's my screen gone? Sin filter. It is 5.5%. There you go. I won't even show it, will it? Zoom out, camera. 5.5%. 0-0. Jesus. It's a Sunday, mate. Sunday. George Cadet's saga cost us the title. We did that. It did that, didn't it? But anyway, Tommy Burns, despite minimal success, provided a team that played the Celtic way. And I'll never forget that. And I seen Steen's team too. Wow. Seen Jock Steen's team, and you reckon that he did that. Do you know, it was Tommy Burns had Celtic playing some amazing football. And I think that, do you know what really, it was an unbelievable time at Celtic. You could go on such a good run, but Rangers, they had a fantastic goalkeeper that why not put it out to a fan vote for the next manager? We've done that before, and the managers that we put out for the vote are all like disappearing. They've all got other jobs by now. So anyway, 5%. You call yourself a Scotsman? 5.5%. It's only beer, mate. Jesus. Anyway, didn't think the beer would create so much havoc on an evening, on a Sunday. Yeah, dear, what did I know? Anyway, so who will be the next manager? The next manager, whilst we have that win rate, who will be the next manager? That is the big question, isn't it? What is the odds saying for the next Celtic manager? Robbie Keane's heading the betting. Robbie Keane at Bet365. Robbie Keane is 4-5 to be the next Celtic manager. Martin O'Neill was 5-4 to be the next Celtic manager. Roberto Martinez has dropped down to 10-1. Craig Bellamy's 16-1. Kieran McKenna's at 20-1. He's dropped down for 16-1. That's the guy that I want it. Oliver Glasner, he's 25-1. Ange Postecoglou's 25-1. Alex Neil, 33-1. Sean Maloney's 33-1 also. Anyway, let's jump on the land of Twitter Atty, just to see the the meltdown. I never thought that a women's game of football could create so much mayhem online. Oh, look, because Russell Martin's the front runner for a job alongside an ex-Celtic boss. Who cares? Let's listen to Greeting Face.
That's the reality of football. You get 3 cracks at it this season in terms of 2 cup.
That's really quiet. Why is that too quiet?
Finals and a last day shootout, and we've fallen short on those 3 occasions. We've got European.
That's a shit video. It's far too low. Let me just do this. Rangers woman. No many comments on it. Full time. 1-0. 14 days since the meltdown. 15 days. 15 days since the meltdown started, says one. And one of the biggest, the funniest things was Celtic putting out this video. the Celtic women's team singing "Simply the Best." Um, ha ha! Pure raging, pure raging. Anyway, right. Let's jump into the comment section and see what you glorious people are saying on this fantastic end to the month, last live of the month, and I am trying to get to 27,000 before Celtic getting a manager. So come on, do your damnedest. We've went up 5 subscribers. We lost one and then got one back, so we went up 6 subscribers since the video started. It is there. I should just keep it on the live, shouldn't I? I should just have a permanent live on the go consistently, where it's just that timer and a big question mark with waiting for Celtic. Target 27k. Anyway, I'm only on for a half an hour. Simply the best as hours now. Seth Corian, yes. Let me just take this and let's maybe put that up there and then narrow it this way. And then just put it there and bring it back down there. Trophy list in the Tron gates. Martin O'Neill has been amazing, but we are a club. We need a full rebuild and can't wait for that to happen. We need an experienced manager that's happy to commit for 3-5 year plan. Back the house structure that works. A lot of people saying that give Martin O'Neill the opportunity. Give Martin the opportunity to build on this year's success. Is giving Martin the job building on the success, or is it giving the boards a free run? Paul says, I would give it to Sean before Keane, but DD will probably give it to Keane just to annoy Celtic supporters even more than he already has. I wonder how long this meltdown will go on for. Simply the best. I don't know. It'll be wonderful. Anyway, I am done and dusted for this evening. There will not be a live tomorrow morning because I need to take the car. It's booked in for its MOT. And in Spain, the way that you do it is you've got to go online, book your car in, you go to this big MOT station. They do it like totally different here. You take your number, you sit in line, and then you wait for your car number, reg number to come up, and then you go in, you drive into MOT. It's like a conveyor belt. They only have specific MOT centres here. Let's jump into a few more comments before we finish up this evening. Hope Martin O'Neill signs up for 2 years. Can't see that. The self-co motto should be, we're not all born winners. But as you're saying, is just how is the first I've heard Alex Neil's name. I know yeah, I don't know why he was even linked. Maybe just the site that I'm on. Oh, there's a comment just popped up, and I can't put that up. I'll get absolutely murdered if I was to put that up. Robbie Keane has never settled anywhere long term as a player or a manager. Anyone else get the feeling it's going to be back to the same old pish the board this summer? It's a cruel summer. MOT, Martin O'Tim. It's actually called an ITV in Spain, but I just called it MOT so you don't understand what it is. May is known as the meltdown month. It has definitely been that. That is the comment of the evening. We are at 26,797. I was only staying on for half an hour. Joe Hart playing in goals for Soccer Date. There you go. Well played, Joe Hart. Right. I shall see you tomorrow once I've got the car MOT'd and I'm back up the road, really. I'll jump on live then. It won't be first thing in the morning though, because I need to leave here at 9 o'clock in the morning and then drive down to the MOT station. Anyway, have an absolutely fantastic day, evening, Celtic fans, wherever you are. It is the 31st of May. Tomorrow's the 1st of June. Tomorrow is the 1st of June, and it's the month where the clock is now ticking. Someone's got the wee sand thing and they've turned it upside down and the clock is ticking. When will Celtic announce a manager? Who knows? Can I get to 27,000 before they do? Let's hope. See you all later on. Have a fantastic day, Celtic fans, wherever you are, all around the world.